Did you see what Scott Frost said? The former Nebraska and UCF head coach. He made these comments to CBS Sports. I'm Pete Mundo. We're Heartland College Sports, covering the Big 12. Thanks for joining us and being a part of the show. Scott Frost predicted that UCF could be a national power within 10 years. That's right. You heard that from Scott Frost. And I love it because I think he's right. Scott Frost, of course, coached UCF, led him to a 13-0 record before he took the Nebraska job with his alma mater. But he is predicting something that I have thought since I started really digging into UCF, finding out more about them, looking into the program, the university itself, what they've got down there in Orlando. And I'm like, this guy's on to something here. Scott Frost gets it. And he's sitting on his couch right now in Arizona in Scottsdale, but he's talking to CBS Sports in this very good article that was written, and he just kind of slid it in there. He goes, yeah, in 10 years, UCF could be a national power. He said it's the best college town in Florida by far. Orlando, the campus is beautiful. UCF, of course, is led by Gus Malzahn now. They went 6-7 last year in their first year in the Big 12, but they were a couple of plays away from being 9-3. You go back and you look at that UCF 2023 schedule, and obviously right away you think about the Baylor debacle at the end of that game, right? That sticks out as just a total disaster of a game. So no doubt that was bad. But then you look at also the Texas Tech game, 1-point game. You look at the Oklahoma game, came down to the very end. I mean, they are a couple of plays away from being 9-3 in the regular season. At the very least, 8-4. So things are trending up at UCF. And I've long thought that UCF has the undergraduate body. They've got the location. They've got the wherewithal. They're building up the NIL. They're building up the program at large to be right up there in the echelon, the upper echelon of Florida universities and Florida football programs with Florida State and UF and Miami. And let's be honest, Florida football in general, I mean, has really become just Florida State. That's it. You haven't thought about Florida since the Urban Meyer days for the most part. Let's just call it what it is. Billy Napier hasn't done a damn thing. Dan Mullen won the SEC East once, and in his best year, he went 8-4. Jim McElwain had a couple of decent seasons. Will Muschamp, You got to go back. The kids who are going to UF right now were basically in diapers when this team was nationally relevant. And a lot of us think about UF and are like, oh, Urban Meyer, that was like 3 or 4 years ago. No, that was a decade and a half ago. Like, the kids in college now were literally in diapers. I just put a 3-year-old to bed, and she still was, well, she's going to be 3. She's potty trained, don't worry, but we still put her in a diaper at night. So I'm qualifying that as still being in diapers. She's in diapers at night. These kids who are enrolling at UF next year were in diapers when Urban Meyer was the head coach. It was a long time ago. And don't even get me started, as Alan points out, on Miami. I would take Miami in a Big 12 in a heartbeat. I would. But, man, let's be honest, Miami football has not been relevant in how long now? Mario Cristobal's done nothing. Manny Diaz didn't do a damn thing. Mark Richt had some good seasons, right? He had a couple of good seasons. But how long's it been? Larry Coker, you go back to that era, the kids at Miami now weren't even alive when Larry Coker was the head coach and was competing for national titles. So it's really become Florida State. That's what I'm saying, Andrew, on Facebook Live. It's become Florida State. That has really been the program that has carried Florida football as a state for all these years. And UCF can make that case to be the program that becomes an upper echelon program in college football out of the state of Florida. And Scott Frost, who coached there, who went 13-0, is saying it, and he has no reason to blow smoke. None whatsoever. He's not getting paid by UCF. So it's going to be very interesting to watch and see how that unfolds. I'm Pete Mundo, Heartland College Sports. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up before you leave the show here at Heartland College Sports and sign up for our free message boards.